This one I received quite, it was after my COVID recovery that I went to take. But I already read the soft copy,
Okay.
so I typed something out. So the comments are mainly in my soft copy. There's not much in here, but it's in my soft copy because this one is I get it later.
I am lucky because I like soft copy.
Okay. All right.
Before the presentation, would you mind?
No, I will sit up.
You will send you will sit there?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the wind is
too cold. Too cold. Yeah.
So I don't know.
To avoid me to get the cold.
Yeah. Oh, sama is there. Okay.
I have time over time or.
I tell you what. Let's reverse this process.
Yeah.
Mutadi, so there's something there.
May I say? Yeah.
Let's reverse this process. I will go straight. Okay. What is it? Someone. Yeah. Okay. Let me go straight to the comments.
Okay.
And then we can make reference using your slides later on.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Right. So I want you to get into my comments first.
Okay.
Right. And then we go to your presentation. And because already? No? Yes. So welcome back. All those of you who haven't, Chao Lei is here, Anjan, Salma. Okay.
Hello.
Hi everyone, okay. Right. Okay, good. Okay. I think Chao Lei, you sent me something, right? Is it Chao Lei you sent me something this morning, right? Today? So those of you, I will repeat what I said just now. Okay. All right, send me email. That's right. Okay. I will repeat what I said earlier just now because some of you did not listen. Were not in yet. So those of you who have sent me messages via WhatsApp, please resend them. Because I have a look at the WhatsApp, not all of them, right? For one now, so it's been like 1 week or 10 days, so your WhatsApp is down there somewhere, right? What is it? So you resend it so that it appears on top again, right? So that I can read your WhatsApp. But I have replied some of your WhatsApp or done some of the things that I need to do. So I just resend it. I think you sent something too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you lost weight. Huh? You lost weight. Lost weight.
Oh.
So yeah.
I can email.
Huh?
I can resend by email.
No, I said you
瘦了各位
哦瘦了有不是瘦啊瘦
对瘦
了
谢谢。
哦瘦。It's a slight change in the so this is what happened with Malaysians. We watered down our pronunciation. So, okay, make it bigger, Hannah, please. Before we look at this, Mutali, let me go and take a few steps back and reflect on what my general concerns and the main improvement points that you want to make for your thesis here. For your thesis here, right? Okay. Get ready. I'm going to be brutally honest, right?
Okay.
Brutally honest.
Yeah, I want that.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Straightforward. Tell you what you want to do with your thesis, right? This is the general comments, overarching comments, right? Number one, you want to have a balanced presentation of your arguments, balanced presentation of arguments. So what does it mean? It means that if you present the case on this side, you want to present the case on the other side as well, right? So this is a very critical piece of work that you have done with your research, especially critical about Ayatollah and paternalism, right? And how paternalism has been exploited in the context of Shia community in Iraq. So you want to also show that you're presenting a balanced argument, that there are upside and downside to paternalism in Iraq, right? So the other side has not been demonstrated in your work. So you want to capture the reality in a balanced manner. So you want to do that. That's a big vacuum.
What you mean other side? What you mean exactly?
So a lot of your work has been very critical of the Ayatollah, right?
Okay.
So basically, I'm not sure percentage-wise, but very strong sentences, very strong statements. As if Ayatollah has not done anything good, right? I'm not a supporter of Ayatollah. I'm not against Ayatollah. I'm not politically involved in this, but you want to present a scholarly work that has presented the case and the against case. So you're evaluating the reality and not to be seen as overly biased, even though we are all biased, right? We are all basically biased in some ways, one way or another. But since this is a scientific work, so we want to present something that is balanced, right? Okay, so that is a very important point, right? If you want to type, you can type if you want to. But if you don't type, it's fine as well. But because it's recorded, right?
Yes,
It's recorded, right? Okay. You don't want me to use that. I want to use that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, I have recovered for more than 1 week, so don't worry about my COVID. It's very negative now.
Yeah, sure.
So more than 1 week, in 10 days now. It was Thursday, 2 weeks ago, more or less, right? So that is point number one. Point number two, I'll go deeper into the specifics because I've typed them up. So point number two is the idea of historical sociology, your methodology of historical sociology. So the idea of historical sociology is to look at the phenomena in a historical context, the changes from one era or phase of the history to another phase, right? So yes, you're using historical analysis. Therefore, two things. One is that, and you actually quoted that you're using historical analysis, historical research, right? So in the historical research, one is that there needs to be data that is considered as primary, right? Now, the historical research, primary data can also mean documents, can also mean documents. Right? Now, the point that you want to show is that historical research is not the same as literature review. Right? So you want to demonstrate that. So what is historical research? And how is your work a historical sociological research? Right? So your chapters 4, 5, 6, 7, and you have 8 chapters by the way, right? Chapters about historical facts or historical findings, they are not necessarily literature review. Right? So that is something that you want to bear in mind. We will discuss it, right? But there's something to note to how you want to improve your work so that it becomes a historical research of that sort, not a literature review, right? So we will go deeper into that one. The other one is retroductive research strategy, right? By the way, Muzakir is around and you can actually have a discussion with him. He's around, he came with his friends from Surabaya. So you can have, because he did his research on using retroductive research strategy as well. So retroductive research strategy, as you know, it's not a simple research strategy. It is a research strategy that looks at these three layers of reality: the real, the actual, and the empirical. Right? Now, what has appeared in your chapters 4, 5, 6, 7? I'm not sure about 7, maybe 4, 5, 6 more. So, right? Is that you have done that kind of retroduction, right? Or retroductive analysis or retroduction, where you actually have the actual, you have the real, actual, empirical, but you were analyzing different parts of the phenomena, right? I have to look at paternalism, and then sometimes you look at the individual itself, sometimes you look at, and then each of this has its own retroduction, right? More or less like that. So, so what happens when you done that in your analysis, because retroduction is both a combination of data collection and analysis at the same time, right? So it doesn't really matter whether you start with data or theory, but then basically you construct a model to explain the phenomenon, right? So when you do something like that, it appears that it becomes simplistic. So the phenomena sometimes have only one or two entities at the real sphere. So the real sphere can be just one or two entities, and then you explain the empirical using this one or two entities, and that is explaining from the real becomes actual events, creating the empirical reality. So you also want to look at that point, right? So I'm highlighting the main things that you want to improve, right? Okay, and then you have your figures, and you have many figures, which is actually good. You have a lot of figures. Right? Now your figures are not well explained. You have the figures, but you don't make reference to the figures. So you want to say, as shown or as demonstrated in figure 6.3 or 5.1 or 4.2, the connection between this and that indicates or symbolizes or what and what. You want to make reference to the figure and explain the figure. That has not been done. Although you have a prior explanation to that, but then the figure itself is kind of hanging there. It's not being explained. And sometimes the figure, because of that retroductive analysis you've done that is simple or simplistic, it becomes too simplistic basically. It's not like a model. It's not like a model. So, so that is part of the figures. I will go in, let me recall the main stuff that comes to my mind, that I think these are the core matters, yeah. What else? The main thing. I think we go into my specific comments now. Let's go to my specific comments. I know where this. Okay, this is a guide for you all as well on how you can improve your thesis and how you can write your thesis as well, right? I've given this guide before in my previous supervision when your friends are graduating, so they are going through this. So this is the general key comments. It needs to be balanced. I think I mentioned that. Cautious and mostly humble statements. So not making on the right is the comment specific to the thesis yang tadi on the right. But this one is the general guide basically. Not making opinionated statements, sweeping generalizations, especially without evidence or justifications. This can open many doors of attack during Viva. So if you're making a claim or a justification, a claim or an assertion or a statement, all right? What happened? Okay. So this is my. Okay. Because I send it to you just now. Either you support it with a reference that somebody else said, or supporting it with some evidence or facts or statistics, right? So, or you don't make that kind of statement. You make only humble statements, right? Don't make strong statements. We will come to some examples. I think I've given some examples in here. So be cautious. Use mostly humble statements, instead of using always, oftentimes instead of always, right? You don't make strong claims. Keep the claims moderate, humble, basically. Avoid ulterior motives or personal agendas, especially supported by evidence or especially not supported by evidence or reference, and that should be really that. So, and most of the time we do, right? We usually, when we carry out research, you want to prove something or you want to emphasize something, right? But then it is not quite in the scope of our research, right? It's not in the scope of our research questions, but we have that our own personal bias or personal agenda we want to pump into the research. So be careful. Best is to avoid that kind of ulterior motives and personal agendas. Now, if you do have certain assertions you want to make, you want to recognize this side before you make the assertion. So that's religion has brought about many good moral progress. That said, then you have a more balanced kind of statements, right? Okay. We will go. This is more general, but we'll go more specific later on. Okay. Number 2, follow the USM IPS standard. Check font size, the page, chapter heading. How should the chapter heading be phrased? Check the indentation format so that you follow the IPS format. Don't ask me about the IPS format. You can check the IPS format. If you're not sure, you just check your friends who have graduated. Look at their sample of their thesis. That'll be good. Right? Now we go to the cover page. The cover page itself, right? The cover page itself, there's spelling error. What is the spelling error? I'm not sure what it is.
I
I'm not sure where the cover page. Maybe this. Because I was looking at your. The soft copy, not this one, Mutadi. I was commenting on your soft copy, not this one. This one maybe you have improved this one, not the soft copy. So anyway, I was looking at the soft copy, not this one, yeah. Yeah, this is soft copy. So this one is because this one is based on the soft copy. I was commenting on your soft copy as I have this one. So that I think check the spelling. I think that should be Iraq instead of
Yeah, I already.
Okay.
Yeah, you have this copy before formatting. You have copy before formatting.
All right.
I think this is good formatting.
This is
with you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was I was making the comments some time ago.
This is good comment.
haven't seen that country yet, so maybe it's a new country there. And then you should present it by, I think, should not be presented by, the format should be, this is the right one, this is the right one.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it, that one, sorry, yeah. So any check spelling error format, what's written on the page, check the names, especially spelling of the candidates and supervisor's name, the right title. Now I don't mind, but when you come to the Viva, you need to have the right title. Should cover page has pagination? So I think your cover page has pagination there. This one doesn't have, which is good, right?
Yeah.
So the cover page should not have page 1 here, right? There's no pagination. Pagination begins after the chapter 1 there. Okay. Okay, this cover page, I'll go. Table of contents. Again, this is the previous, this is from your soft copy, maybe it's not in this one, I don't know.
Yeah, this is better.
Better, can I look at the, go to, scroll up, yeah. Up again. A cover page, we have done that one, right? Okay, go to this, table of contents. Ensure that the topic and the subtopics correspond to the pagination in the text. Yeah? So, I'm referring to this one, right? So this one, the topic and the subtopic, and it corresponds to the page, right? It must correspond. Maybe there was some that did not correspond. I'm not sure because I made certain comments. There was maybe 1 or 2 months ago, I was sure that. I'm sure. Chapter 2, 3. Some are translated and some are not chapters, some are not. Some are translated and some are not. I'm not sure what. Maybe we got to look at the chapter 2, the language. Oh, okay, yeah. Now I remember. Yeah. The thing is, Murtadia, remember I wanted to meet much earlier last year, right? So some of these comments was last year, so I forget what I wrote. It was what was my point when I wrote this one? Now I remember. So here you have some of them, but Al-Kumus.
Yes.
Right? You did not translate that, but Atabat, Holy Shrine.
But I have glossary here.
You have glossary. So
I translate all in the glossary.
in the glossary, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the title as well, if you translate one, then you translate the rest. Your title, your content, the table of contents.
Okay.
Okay, if your table of contents you have, it is weird that you have some of them translated, some of them not translated, right?
And the table, okay.
Table of contents.
Table of contents, okay.
But if you do not want to translate, it's fine because you have it in your glossary.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you have it in the glossary, yeah. But here we're talking about table of contents first, yeah. Okay. Chapters do not start with preface, yeah, okay. So, the beginning of chapters should be introduction, not preface, yeah?
Not preface.
No, it should be introduction.
Because I guess the introduction just in the main door, the first.
Chapter 1, yeah. So each chapter has an intro as well, yeah. It's a preface, okay. Some Arabic words are italic and some are not. So this has to do with formatting, yeah. Italicized Arabic words.
Yeah.
Italicized Arabic words.
I think I with the scope I did.
You did? Oh, this one you did?
Yeah, I think, yeah. But I will check also.
Just
Yeah, I will check also, yeah.
something here. All right.
Yeah.
Many spelling errors. Maybe this one you may expect, yeah. Maybe this one you don't have because you have done this one, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wouldn't deal with the language that much, but you will need to look into that one. Hold on.
Okay, what's that mean?
Paternal contestant. Yeah, I also do not know what it means.
Okay.
Right. Well, I probably put that in because I don't know what that means. Paternal contestant.
Okay.
All right. If I do not know, you do not know, just delete that thing.
Okay.
We don't want to open the space for people to ask that question unnecessarily. Some subtitles sounds weird. 7.3, 7.8.2. Let me see what is that. 7.3. What 7.3? State asset is unknown owner. Huh? Yeah, it's state asset is unknown owner. Yeah, that sounds a bit strange.
State asset of
Is
unknown.
is unknown owner.
Yeah.
So it sounds a bit
Because,
strange.
okay, go.
So, okay, actually we have a discussion down there as well. 8.2, what is it? Summary of findings. I'm not sure what is that. Why did I put that in? Some subtitles sounds weird. 8.2. But summary of findings is not weird. That's fine. I don't know why I put it there. That's okay. That's alright.
That's inventory, okay.
That's 8.2, it's okay, summary of findings. Or maybe in your conclusion, no, I think there's no problem with the title there.
Okay.
Okay. What is it I want to say there? Check the spacing between the chapters, those things are the normal things. Check pagination for each heading and subheading should correspond to the actual text. I think that's okay. Now go to abstract, check the maximum number of words allowed. So there's a maximum number of words allowed, so you want to make sure you do not exceed the number of words.
Okay, I don't know, how can I know that?
You check with IPS format, I think they have that, right?
Okay.
Okay, must have, okay. So your abstract should have research questions or research objectives in there, and key findings, and brief contribution. I cannot really see everything. And can you make it bigger? Even bigger in there. I did bigger again. All right, thank you. That's good. And the brief contributions to the literature theory, right? Just you have that. It maybe was not clear in your abstract there, right? Okay. Acknowledgement, place it in a separate page. Yes, that's okay. Language. All right. Language. In your thesis, yeah, you use the word I, you use the word we, you use the word you. I think I'm not sure about you, but I and then we, you use that, right? So
I should use one, I or we.
I or we, or the preferred option is the researcher.
Researcher.
So you're referring to yourself in the third person, right? So the researcher. Right? So this is about British. The British uses the third, yeah. But the American, they have no problem using I.
Okay.
The American thesis.
So I follow what?
You follow the British, right? Because Malaysia is a colony of Britain.
British use we or researcher?
The researcher.
The researcher.
The researcher, right. So you check, you use find, check I, check we.
Okay.
Whenever appropriate, then you should replace the we and I with the researcher. But sometimes in your sentences, you use the word we as in the context that you want to say, we believe that, you're making some kind of recommendation using the we should do this or something like that. So in that case, rephrase the word we with another way of constructing the sentence. Not using we, using
Proposed research.
Yeah, so usually in the we, usually you say in the democracy we should not have right. So instead of saying that, in a democracy it is generally accepted that something like that. So you just remove the word we there from the right. It's not a big deal, but then sometimes some examiner finds it problematic. So we do not need to have this accumulation of negative emotion. Present and past, hold on, the findings indicate. So do we use the word present? Yes, we use the word present. Present tense, because your findings are present. So your findings are present, your findings indicate. Okay, not the findings indicated, no, the findings indicate. So when you say I have found, that will be past perfect tense, right? But the findings is present. So this is. But I think you send it to the proofreader, and the proofreader can right? So 8, there's no problem. So we go to the next one. language. Must check the sentence awkwardness, especially when it's complex or when you construct new sentences with new vocabs. Avoid using etc. I think you have some words with etc. in there. You have like sentences with etc. So avoid that one, yeah. Mention, you also use the word mention.
Word use, okay.
Avoid so word choice, do not use the word mention. Mention tends to mean you just mention it in passing. It's not a statement, it's not an assertion, it's a light comment, something like that. So we avoid using the word mention in the thesis, just avoid it completely. Move on to the next one. Second supervisor, not relevant in this case. Secondary, not relevant in this case. Accepting definition of concept. Okay, here is where I actually talk about this, yeah. We will go to, we skip number 30 because I'll be talking about it very specifically later on. Elaborate tables and figures, I'll be talking about it specifically later on, which I already touched just now. Referencing, make sure where necessary include page references and the year. So whenever you're quoting direct quotes, right, according to Ibn Khaldun, he said whatever, right, actual words, then there should be page number. But if it's a general comment, you do not need to have page number, just the year, just the year, the person and the year. Right? If it's specific comments, right, with the quotes, Deng Xiaoping said it doesn't matter whether it's a white cat or black cat, as long as you catch the mouse or something like that, right? Right, that's a quote, right? So
黑猫白猫 yeah, red cat, black cat. 抓的 which is good cat when it catch the mouse.
Oh, alright.
抓到耗子 catch the mouse.
Catch the mouse.
No matter it's colour.
Doesn't matter, right? As long as catch a mouse, okay. And do not get eaten by a dog in the process. Okay. Where are we now? So referencing. Okay, I was talking about it. So again, follow the format of IPS. So by the way, the referencing, there's a format, but I think now IPS takes the stand that as long as you standardize the referencing, there's an APA, Chicago style referencing.
I think Chicago.
Chicago. So they stick to, if you take Chicago style, stick to Chicago, APA, right? So stick to one particular style. Okay. Number 16, generalizations. But this is what I talked about just now.
Yeah.
So avoid the word always, avoid the word all, right? Present balanced arguments, not one-sided or lopsided, right? So this is generally, when you write your thesis, that's the way to go, right? Statistical explanation and deduction. Example, numbers versus percentage. So in this case, you do not have the problem with this because you do not quote a lot of numbers, in fact, right? So, but if you are quoting statistics, sometimes numbers is not as reflective of reality as percentage, right? So, if you say Singapore has 1,000 cases of suicide every year, might be severe, but then China has 1,000 cases of suicide, maybe not a problem, right? Because China has 1.4 billion people, so 1,000 people commit suicide that's like 0.00 whatever.
The
right?
amount is huge.
Yeah, amount is huge, percentage-wise. But Singapore 1,000, oh, it's not making, right?
Yeah, that's a problem.
The problem. So same with terrorism and everything else. Okay. 18, research questions, objectives. So clarity, scope, depth. Is it master or PhD worthy? We have depth this one in your research, so this should not have a problem anymore. So we've gone through this one. Go to the next one. Well, I'll go to the specifics later on. 19, methodology. Let's go down to the further down, footnoting, okay. Here we have, okay, chapter 1, yeah. This one I've mentioned earlier, the IB, the researcher, and then the level of personalization, the narrative description. So, what do I write here? Your problem statement outlines a larger set of questions than the ones in your research questions. Okay. What am I saying? Mechanism, paternalism, Abayatullah, democratic system, social thought, state building, political modernity. Okay. So, study, you look at your problem statement, right? Your problem statement was outlining something. Your problem statement, you problematize a larger issue here, right? The concept of paternalism has been studied in social sciences and is related to how the state, organization, person restrict individual liberties for their own benefit. However, there's no academic research on paternalism and Ayatollah or paternal social thought of Shiaism, despite its close relation to the culture. So, you're talking about paternalism. Your research question become very focused, right? So the point I want to say here is that so your decisions to be made about the scope or the delineation of research problem, so may not address all issues in problem statement. So you relook at your problem statement because I think you outline a bigger problem than the research questions you have, right? However, when I read through your thesis, it seems like you're addressing different parts of the research problem that you highlighted, right? Beyond your research questions. So it seems like you're attempting to solve, to address the research problem that you've written in here, right? So you've written about the mechanism, the mechanism that leads to paternalism of Ayatollah, that has an impact on democratic system and social thought and state building and political economy, political modernity, right? So there are actually the two levels here. One is mechanism that creates paternalism of the Ayatollah, right? And then how the paternalism of Ayatollah is affecting democratic system, affecting social thought of the Iraqi Shia, affecting the state building, the nation building, affecting political modernity. Whereas if you look at the research questions, right, the research questions are much more limited in scope. So you should be reworking your problem statements so that your problem statement fits into your research question.
Okay.
Right?
So you mean with my problem statement there's a generalization or more scope?
Yeah, generalization or more scope. So you talk about bigger issues.
Bigger picture.
Bigger issues. Right? So we might come back to that in our discussion later on, but this is something that needs to be thought through, right? Be clear about. Still in chapter 1, as you delve into, scroll down a bit more, as you dive straight into the narrative, decide on the pronouns and level of personalization. My father found solace. Okay. Interesting, when I open the mask, I start. I feel itchy here.
Yeah. We talk about here, talk about introduction.
Introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were talking about your father's experience there somewhere, right? Is this introduction? Okay.
Yes.
So you talk about your father's experience. So, so here you have something that is much more personal or personalized, right? At the beginning here, right?
Yeah.
So you talk about your father.
Just I think two paragraph or three paragraph. I talk about just like per phase or to use the topic.
Yeah.
I mean, is that
that's not a common
hard
practice.
the topic?
that's not a common practice. So because you're not writing what is it auto ethnography, right? So this is not ethnography work. So you want to avoid that kind of write up. However, if you want to describe something like that, you can always footnote it or endnote it. You can still put it on note, or you can put it in note.
How can, okay, what I say with footnote? What can I give justification or something like that?
So this one is about what? This is chapter 1, right?
Yeah.
This is the beginning, chapter 1?
Yeah, you go to, for example, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, we talk about that. But I just think here. Yeah. So, okay. In video of representation and fear, the community found solace and guidance and the emulation of Ayatollah Sistani when the political system dictated that the fasting for Eid al-Fitr be broken. Shia community was refused to comply. Instead, some of them undertook a journey to the sacred city of Najaf on the morning of the Eid, standing resolutely near to the passage that leads to Ayatollah Sistani house, which lay just a few meters away from the venerated shrine of Imam Ali. They seek clandestine confirmation of the date of Eid or the last day of Ramadan, based on the fatwa of the revered Ayatollah. During the 90s, the Shia community in Iraq found itself mired in the dire economic situation, facing an unyielding economic blockade and living in constant fear of regime's wrath, struggling to survive amidst these oppressive conditions.
So
I think I adjusted already.
Yeah, you're narrating that. Yeah. So what did I write here?
Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe this is Sobi, Kov Sobi, because I hear why I give you this. This is more adjusting.
Okay.
So I deleted. I think I deleted here about something personal.
Yeah.
To make it something is general, just description.
Okay. Yeah. This gives it. But we will talk about that further because historical sociology will have something. The way it's done and versus ethnography is different. But we'll talk about that in methodology in a while. So you want to address this and to make it much more less personal, yeah?
Less personal.
Yeah.
Okay, doctor.
Okay, this chapter has language issues, grammar, etc. Maybe there was in the soft copy. Maybe this one
Yeah.
not have much problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would check it.
Okay. Chapter 2. Title change to literature review. Where's chapter 2? Okay, chapter 2. Yeah, chapter 2, your conceptual framework and literature review. So you just use literature review, that'll be enough. You do not need to go conceptual framework then, right? Okay, so can even omit there, okay. So replace the preface with introduction. Number 3, what's the difference? Here we have point number 3 there, Mutadi. You want to have clarity, yeah? What's the difference between paternalism and patriarchy? Is there a difference? What about authoritarianism, stewardship? You use the word wali, right? Arabic wali, right? Guardianship, dictatorship, democratic centralism, right? And democratic centralism is communism, by the way. There's another word. So, apa this one? Maybe the hair inside here then. So, you just need to clarify this one, because it's central to your thesis of paternalism.
Okay, yes, that's in my.
Do you have a discussion on
in
that
my
one?
mind, yeah, I have discussion.
You have discussion.
In my mind, but I told myself maybe my literature will be very large if I mentioned all this.
Yes.
What about if I put nice appendix for this is definition or terminology?
You could. That would be one way, or endnote or footnote would be too big, right?
Yeah.
Put an endnote. So endnote is the end of the chapter, footnote is at the bottom of the chapter, right? So you put the endnote. I think this is a crucial discussion to have, because when they're in your text, sometimes you put paternalism / patriarchy too. Some in your text. There are certain parts in your text, you just check. Maybe in the soft copy, maybe.
Yeah, I want to check this.
You have paternalism, then you put paternalism / patriarchy.
Yeah.
Because remember last time was also patriarchy, right?
Yeah. I have this is good experience. I will mention this always.
Yeah. So you want to resolve this matter early and to show that there is a conceptual distinction, conceptual clarity between paternalism and the other concepts. So there might be overlapping between paternalism and patriarchy, paternalism and authoritarianism. There might be even overlapping between paternalism and dictatorship, right? Because to the Western world, they basically call Khomeini a dictator, or Xi Jinping a dictator, or Castro a dictator, right? Basically, they see everyone else as dictators except for them. So, any system that's not democracy is a dictator. Sometimes they feel that way. Or kingdoms are dictators. So, is a king a dictator, or is a king a paternal figure? So, you want to be able to address that distinction, because paternalism is central to your work, right? It's actually your title there, right? So if this concept is being attacked and you are not able to defend it, then become problematic, right? You want to be able to defend this concept, right? Now let's discuss a bit, Mutali, so that you will have a strong defense for this concept, right? Let's look at the options. The one option is to show that it is different from all other concepts, patriarchy, stewardship, authoritarianism, and all that, right? That's one option. The other option is to say that there are overlaps between paternalism and other concepts like patriarchy, authoritarianism, stewardship, guardianship, right? There's overlap there, right? So that's one option. There's a second option. There's a third option where you say it's not overlapping, it's constituting the other concepts, right? So let's use this. There's a whiteboard basically for discussion. You open it, you can close it. It gets dry. You open it, it gets dry. So there might be overlap with other concepts like that, right? This is patriarchy, this is authoritarianism, dictatorship, whatever else, right? But another one is to say this is patriarchy, this is authoritarianism versus, right? Patriarchy, this is paternalism, right? This is patriarchy. Authoritarianism, dictatorship, guardianship. The other one is to say that, well, paternalism is inside here, paternalism, but we have different things under paternalism, right? Guardianship, stewardship, patriarchy, authoritarianism, dictatorship. So you conceptualize it, make it an argument that you can win. Make an argument you can win that it is not something you cannot defend. It's something you can defend in the Bible, right? Otherwise, if you cannot defend this, you have problem with the thesis because your thesis is about paternalism. So either you make this argument or you make this argument. I think this argument is a hard argument to make, right? Because there are similarities between this, right? So either you make this argument or this argument, I think. Or there's another one. There's something else here, like wali. Paternalism is inside here, authoritarianism is inside here, and then you say wali is the Badui, the tribal Arab concept, so paternalism falls under waliism or something like that, you know. So, and this is I think this is another safe way to make the argument because your examiners might not be aware of the concept wali. You would know better because they are not Arabs, right? So they don't know. Right? So, where you can
I
just
think this is wali or walaya. This here is familiar for you.
familiar, yeah.
So
So
this is
like,
Islamic concept.
yeah. So it's an Islamic concept, yeah. And wali is in Malaysia and Indonesia. It has many meanings too, right? Like mayor is wali kota, the wali of the city. There's a mayor for Indonesia. For Indonesia, wali is also used in Malaysia and Indonesia as a saint. Right, the wali Songo, right?
Yeah.
Saint.
Saint.
Like Saint Mary, Saint Thomas, saint. So people who have some kind of divine powers, divine status. Right? So wali can also be a representative of somebody else that can also go wali. So, anyways, this is one way to defend what paternalism is, right? Or this, but you need to conceptualize well and defend it. You got to be able to defend it. And that goes for all of you when you have something central, right? Like Hanif is looking at perantau, right? So
Perantau, not Hanif, I think.
Raji.
Raja.
but you're also you're looking at no, you're looking perantau not as a core but as a secondary construct there. So any one of you, your key construct needs to be well defended, right? And do not you want to be able to defend your key construct there, or constructs rather. Okay. Where are we now?
Literature review, including
Literature review. Introduction. Paternalism. Okay. Number 4. Your literature review included historical analysis. Consider to have separate chapter for background. Okay. This is a tough one, Mutadi. I struggle a bit because your thesis is different from many of all my students because they don't do historical sociology. You're doing historical sociology. So this is chapter 2, right? So chapter 2, you actually in your chapter 2 you have findings there. So chapter 2 usually you do not have findings. You have findings. You actually use the words findings.
Yeah.
So chapter 2 should not have findings.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so you want to remove the findings. You can say conclusion, you can say something else, but not findings. Chapter 2 is literature review.
Okay.
Right?
His findings, chapter 2.
Should not have chapter. Should not.
Others findings.
Yeah. You should not have findings in chapter 2.
Others findings can he write other people's findings?
Other people findings, yes, yeah. Other people findings, yes, but not Mutali's finding. Yeah. Yeah.
Chapter 5.
Chapter 4, 5.
4, 5.
4 and 5. And Mutali has 8 chapters, so she has like that. Which is actually a strength. Okay. Number 5. Number 6, remove findings, place the findings in the right chapter.
Just this is I want to discussion about that.
Which chapter is methodology question? Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You mean, doctor, I have applied some concepts in new phenomena, new structure, social structure in Iraq or Shia. Maybe this also apply further study about Islamic society or about Middle East society or Arab society. It can be not just in my case. Yeah, but if I need to apply. What I did in this chapter 2, I displayed the paternalism, and I placed a review about that, and then I placed what's the Shia, what's the Ayatollah, what's the theology for them, and then I link between this theology and paternalism to just show the people. There is paternalism can apply about the Shia concept. For this reason, I did find this. Yeah. So how can I fix that?
So here we have a methodological issue, rather methodological question, right? You're doing some kind of hermeneutics or some content analysis of the construct of paternalism. So you're debating the concept, right, or discussing the concept of paternalism. So it should be done in that context. So it's not a finding of your historical sociology.
Okay.
Because your historical sociology is about this phenomena, right? So you're doing a literature review and you're synthesizing the concept. Which is right. That happens in literature review because you have conceptual framework in literature review, right? So and that's actually that's the way to do a good PhD review, literature review. You're analyzing the concepts, you are debating the concepts, you're coming up a better description of the concept, right? So here is where, in my point just now about, in my list just now was about, are you accepting a definition point blank, right? Somebody gives a definition, you just use that definition. So that is not a good PhD approach. A good PhD approach is so somebody talks about CSR, A talks about CSR, B talks about CSR, C talks about CSR. I will analyze the CSR of A, B, and C and say, well, the problem with A is this, problem with B is this, problem C is this, but this is how I define CSR, or how I define what is it? Education or whatever, right? So you do not take a definition word by word without questioning it. So that's actually the approach you want to do, and you can talk about your findings in the context of paternalism here, right? So yeah, that's literature review, right? Only thing that I'm suggesting this part of your work is you actually have a literature review about the context of Shia and Iraq, right? So that should be separated from a literature review of the concepts, right? So one way is to put that in into the background chapter, which is chapter 1. So chapter 1 usually is not long, but you want to make it long, you can put in chapter 1, or you can separate it, making it another chapter called historical background, right? So you actually have another chapter before your methodology chapter, right? So you have two options: take the historical part, put it 3 options. Put it into introduction. The other one, they put it into a separate chapter before your methodology. The other one is actually still maintain on the literature review, but call it historical background of Shia.
Yeah.
Maybe better that way. Maintain the literature review. Yeah.
Despite in introduction, chapter 1, introduction,
Yeah.
I have a little background, not some.
Yeah, you do have
Yeah, I did.
background there.
And also, I have a definition about Shia, 12 or Shia, what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's better I this historical background for Shia. Yeah. And I try
You
to
put a travel
show up this better lesson can apply to these concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we are still chapter 2 here. Not even chapter 3 yet. Okay. Remove findings, same with economy and Shia institution and Shia of Iraq. What did I say here? See. So, I think 7 and 6 is the same. Need to determine what the literature review is and what the data findings are. Right, so, this is the same points, by the way. Yeah. Okay, we move to chapter 3. So here we have that discussion about historical sociology. So what is the approach used in historical sociology, and is it a methodology? So is historical sociology a methodology, or is it not a methodology? Or is it a field of study, right? That needs to be debated. Right? What is the data used in historical sociology? Go down further, Hanif. I have a few things. How do you differentiate literature review and the data in historical sociology? Is there a distinction, a difference between the two? The literature review and data in historical sociology. And what is the role of verification in historical sociology? What is the role of verification in historical sociology? Is there a process of verification, or you actually use the word scrutiny? So you actually identify a few things under historical sociology there. This is chapter 3, right? Chapter 3, right? So you did talk about what is it there? Chapter 3. Okay, historical sources, document analysis, social media, observation, and then you go to data analysis. All right. So, the data collection. So, here you have a discussion by historical sociology. We do need to be clear about what historical sociology is, and so historical sociology is it a method? It is not a method. It is a field of study. So in methodology, we don't have historical sociology as a method. We have, like you said, historical research, yes. But historical sociology is much more like a branch of sociology. A branch of sociology.
Like religion of sociology, like education policy of sociology.
Political sociology, but this is historical sociology. However, because of the word historical sociology, so you have the flexibility of bringing in historical sources. Now here is the part that is challenging or problematic. In historical sources, in historical research, historians usually would want to have data that is not analyzed to be included in historical research. So, for instance, somebody wrote about the Vietnam War, Iraqi War, right? So, when the person writes about the war, the information from the book or the research is no longer primary.
It's secondary.
It becomes secondary. It becomes literature. It becomes literature. However, archival data, archives, the letter that this general sent to the king, or the king wrote to the caliph or something, that is historical data. So archival research is part of historical research.
But doctor, not just archive.
Not just archive.
Yeah.
It can be
Like books. Books. What's the meaning of books? For example, what is the main books for Shia?
yes.
This is also can be
Yes, yes.
data.
So this is also historical data. So the distinction, the books that are not analyzed,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So if somebody wrote
Right.
about Quran is
Quran is historical. for
historical
Yeah.
primary
Hadith.
Hadith, yes.
Yeah.
Khomeini said something, yes.
Yes.
That's data. But somebody analyzed what Khomeini said, that's no longer
Yeah.
historical data.
Literature.
That's the distinction that you want to describe, all right? So it's important to have that distinction in your mind and describe that, right? And you guys understand what I'm saying, what I'm talking about? Yeah. No, you don't. Jonathan, you know what we are talking about? Jonathan, you know what we're talking about now?
Yeah.
No, right.
Yeah,
good.
I'll hear about that.
Because the data in history is different than they. Now, this is another thing, Abu Tadi. For philosophy, it's different.
Yes.
Data in philosophy includes literature review, includes literature.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
This multi-analyzed.
So historians treat data different from philosophers' way of treating data. Philosophers treat all text as data, even though it's literature, review or double literature, whatever, it's still data. So, I say something, Hanif analyze what I say, and then Kailai analyze what Hanif said about what I say. The philosopher can still take Kailai's work about my work. The philosopher, in philosophy, they can do that.
Because yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's
about romantic or.
So sometimes methodology is confusing. That's where the confusion occurs, right? So going back about paternalism, that's where the challenge is, right?
Yes.
How do you deliberate the concept of paternalism? Like you from what are you studying again? I forgot now. So we're going to tell me.
I studied farm wills.
What's that?
I studied the literature of framework.
Oh, your research. I forgot what your research is about. What's your research about?
Research title. Topic.
Double reduction.
Double reduction. Yes. Okay.
Production education.
Yes. I remember. I remember education about the word double reduction. So okay. For instance, the word homework, right? The word homework, right? The government has a definition of what homework is, right? The mother has a definition of what homework is, right? You are discussing what homework is as a construct, right? So, for policy analysts, they will look at what data, how they define data, compared to historian, compared to philosopher, or what homework is different. So that's what we are discussing right now. So for historian, as long as it's scriptures, it's not analyzed data, it's data. Right? Once it's analyzed, it's not data. Right? But can it be included in the discussion? Yes, it can include this discussion, but it's not data. Right? Now, just to come back to historical analysis, Mutadi, there are requirements in historical analysis to have a minimum amount of original data. So there's a debate about that too. Now, I'm not well versed about the debate of how much data is required to be called historical research, but they have the requirement. So, for instance, if I say something like, let's, let's invade Vietnam so that Vietnam doesn't fall, right? I'm General MacArthur or whatever, right? So that's data, right? But everything else in my research is about literature review about this guy. So is that a historical research? That's where the debate is. So how much data is enough to be called a historical research? Some historians say one piece of data is enough, because that one piece of data is enough to change the whole argument about why they did what they did. Right? So, you see the point as well, right? You see the point?
I understand your words that he needed the data less than me.
Oh yeah. Mutadil is a lot more data than you, definitely.
We need a different strategy.
Different, yeah. But this is where we talk about methodology. Yeah, that's where. I personally don't think methodology should be the center of what we do, but methodology is what we do to get to the center, right? we cannot get to the center without methodology. So we got to understand methodology, right? I see myself as more a theory guy than methodology, but methodology is very important in that sense, right? So, like I said just now, if I studied the Vietnam War, an American war in Vietnam, right? They don't call it, it's actually American invasion of Vietnam, right? There's historical research. The debate is, well, if you're doing historical research, your data needs to be more than 50% original, right? But another school of thought say, no, you only need one data, but the data is a defining data. Like a general said, let's go to Vietnam so that we can kill Ho Chi Minh or something like that. Right? Ho Chi Minh is the father of Vietnam, right? Ho Chi Minh City, right? So my research was about that statement alone, right? It's enough to make it a historical research, because that statement alone is a strong statement, powerful statement that defined the whole war on Vietnam, for instance, right? So there's a debate about that. So that we understand the methodology, so why US invaded Vietnam? That's a research by itself, right? Anyways, going back to this one, so I think you understand that part.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just need to explain what you understood.
Okay, I will explain in methodology.
Yeah, the methodology.
Methodology. And I mentioned this historical sociology is a field.
Yeah, it is a
It's a
field.
field of sociology.
Yes, it's a field of sociology.
But it's okay to mention this field and my methodology. Just I want to show up the examiners. That's my work.
Yes.
That's what I did.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And then you actually give good examples, because you give Marx and Durkheim and Khaldun, right?
Yeah.
This is the beginning of sociology, right?
Yes.
Beginning of social sciences.
Yeah.
Right? They were actually looking at historical materialism, they're looking at industrialization. That's actually a historical sociology, because they're looking
Actually, the sociologists start with history.
They start with history, all right.
Count the first
Yes.
theory, talk about the human being is past three stages.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Khaldun,
But Khaldun also
the grandfather of social sciences. Yes.
Between Bedouin and civilization.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is historical sociology.
Yeah.
So the birth of social sciences was with Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun was critiquing history. He's saying that history needs to be analyzed using patterns,
Yeah.
right? Not just series of events. There's a pattern.
Yeah.
There's a pattern in the series. There's meaning a theory of history, right? So that gives birth to social science. So history becomes a science, when you include the social science, the history, the sociology part of it. So whatever, you're right, there's a beginning. Karl Marx was doing the same thing, but he's talking about historical
He applied
materialism.
the dialectic.
The dialectic.
Yeah, the history of human being.
Yes, yes. From feudalism and capitalism and then.
Yeah.
he-
Communism to slaverism, to feudalism,
Feudalism,
to capitalism, and then to come to the socialism,
and then
and
communism.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are big historical periods, right? But the issue is, and I told you at the very beginning, a lot of PhD research, because we are limited by a number of years. Whereas historical sociology, is a big research, right?
yes, yeah.
And I told you a long time ago, one of my students from Iran, he wanted to study. So why I want to study Middle East peace? I said, I was laughing. Are you serious? You want to do PhD Middle East peace? You can't even come up with Israel-Palestine peace. Is even hard. You look at Middle East peace. So eventually, you zoom down, and look at nationalism and more specific. But then maybe that's the weakness of the type of education we have right now, because our education now is very short term.
Yeah.
Whereas the old thinkers in the past, right, they were thinking big problems, big big evolutions in society. Now we have to think about PhD in the short term, Before people doing PhD, like 8-9 years sometimes, PhD. I remember, but we do not want to do that. I want you to do that, right? I do not advise you to do that. Okay, all right. Now, number 2, observation. This is a problematic method in historical sociology. How are you conducting this systematically? Now, you have in your findings later on, you have something called observation in there somewhere, right? So observation, there's a method to observation. You know about participant, non-participant observation, that's one. There's also a systematic approach to observation so observation is not done in a ad hoc manner, it's not done in a convenient manner, it's done in a systematic manner where there's a sampling of observation, right? So when you suppose I want to understand Jonathan, I got to say, okay, what's Jonathan like? Okay, let's do an observation of Jonathan. Let's look at his morning behavior. 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Then 8 o'clock. So I know his behavior on 8 o'clock, right? But we say, well, is that enough to understand Jonathan? Maybe not. Let's look at his 12 o'clock behavior. So you look at 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock behavior. So we don't look at Jonathan's behavior only when we ad hoc, there's no system of looking at Jonathan's behavior.
Yes.
Right? So observation, there's also like a sampling. There's a sampling, it's a systematic sampling to that. Right? So the question I pose here is, how are you conducting it systematically? Right? Now, my take, to just simplify, if you cannot do it systematically, then you remove yourself as an observer, right? One. The other one is, can you still use observation? You can use by other people's observation. So, because it's a historical research, right? It's historical research, there's higher flexibility on how you collect data. So I can ask Kailai, you know Jonathan for a while now. Tell me some historical significant moments in Jonathan's life. So Kailai, there's one time that he met his girlfriend and then fell in love, whatever. whatever, there's another moment that he became a millionaire and then suddenly, whatever, there's a historical moments according to Kailai. So you're collecting Kailai's observation as data. You can do that, right? But if you put yourself into it, then it needs to be systematic.
Okay.
Systematic, right? As an observer. So, because as an observer, then you got to either participant or non-participant observer, right? So if it's non-participant observer, how again there's a method to it. Now, ethnographers are basically participant observers.
Participant.
Ethnographers are, basically anthropologists. They use ethnography. They jump into the village, or so you want to do an analysis of the Tuja people. You go to the Tuja family or village and live with them for 6 months.
I did here.
So that is participant.
Participant observer,
yeah.
Because he participate in the life of the Tuja, right? So that is ethnography, and then at night he will go to journal, right? Or they eat all kinds of ulam and all kinds of vegetables and whatever they have this. That's an ethnographer. So ethnographers' observation method is not necessarily systematic, right? But there's a method to it. So we want to understand that part as well. Right? So observation, there's a method to it. That if you're using it, you need to justify it. Right? If you cannot justify yourself as an observer, then I would say you take it out from your analysis. Yeah? Okay. Number 3, we are still chapter 3 here. How are you doing open? Here you actually have axial open coding. This is, by the way, grounded theory.
But I think this can use with retroactive also.
There's articles that talk about retroduction using axial and open, right? Now, usually when you do that, you will need to have a rich source of texts or data to do that one, right? So, now I'm not saying you cannot do, should not do. There's actually articles showing that grounded theory can be retroductive, because grounded theory develops the model. It develops the model, and using axial, you're showing the relationship between concepts, and then selective will have one particular outcome at the end, right? So my thought is this, that and this is why I say your thesis is very complex. So
for me also. I hope I can do my best.
Now the examiner will look at this and say, well, this is grounded theory. Are you using grounded theory, right?
Okay.
Right. So now, can grounded theory be used for retroductive? Yes, it can be used in retroductive, right? Although it's debatable, because grounded theory, at the end of it, you have one thing called selective coding, right? In the selective coding, you would bring everything to one particular concept. But one particular
what I use this because the how can I say this open coding and actual coding. Because I put here, this is theology, this is taqlid, this ayatollah, this is paternalism here, economic independent economic here, political theology here, and then I combine all this together. When I combine all this together, I get this is paternal social thoughts and ayatollah paternalism.
I see the logic. I've read the article as well about this one, because the article makes an argument that this is remember, grounded theory has 2 schools of thought, the Straussian and the other one is, the more original one. The more original one is much more basically comparative comparison. It is a comparative coding, right? So, and the argument is all data is data, everything is data. So now I'm going to leave it to you to defend this one, right? Because it's a methodology for grounded theory, right? And grounded theory is usually applied for primary data, usually.
So should I delete it or?
Usually applied to primary data. But remember, the grounded theory have two schools of thoughts, right? One is much more strict, more systematic. The other one is much purer, the beginning of grounded theory, which is the guru. The second one is his partner, but his partner went off. Strauss and Lachman, I forgot his the other name, the original one, right? So the other one says, whatever data can be used as data. Words can be used as data, pictures can be used as data, video can be used as data.
I did that.
Yeah. So that is the other school of thought of grounded theory, right? So if you want to do that, if you want to include, then you need to justify that you're using that for this particular analysis, right? So then you will need to make the argument consistently. You're actually using grounded theory, retroductive research, historical sociology, the three things.
So okay, I better avoid that.
I usually do not limit what you all want to do. I do not want to limit, but you want to think about your ability to defend it. That's it. Can you defend it? If you can defend it, it's fine. If you cannot defend it, or you're not sure about how to defend it, then limit your damage. And limit your damage, meaning if during the viva stage, the examiner says, you cannot use this part, and this is wrong, or whatever, I disagree, whatever, can you just cut and throw away, and still keep the research, keep your thesis intact? Then, if you can do that, then it's fine. But if you cannot just cut and throw away because this is the whole part of your thesis, then it becomes problematic, right? So you want
like
to,
cancer.
yeah,
Like cancer.
like cancer, right?
Yeah.
Like cancer. Yeah. Okay. Social media, you listed social media is a method. Social media is a source of data. It's not a method. I think you put here as a.
I
What do you call it? It's called a method. What do you call it?
the data, yeah.
Research design. Data analysis.
He don't need to interview or questionnaire.
Mutandi doesn't need to interview questionnaire. He can, but Mutandi, you want to answer Yufeng's question? Do you need to do interview or questionnaire?
No, I don't use this interview because if I need to do interview, I need to select the sample, the community I can conduct this interview with. So if I use community, what kind of community I should use this? If I go to the cleric, cleric man, religious man, they will give you their opinion. They don't give me the truth or what I want to do. They just give me their opinion about their this phenomena. So if I go to the society, I mean the Shia, this group, Islamic group, this is very large, maybe we have 20 million people in Iraq. So there is not criteria for any society or any individual to do interview. Yeah.
You can search the literature, books, reviews for the data, for collecting data.
I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
your data analyzing from bottom to top or from top to bottom? I mean, common to particular or a particular to common. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think from particular to common, I understand you. So I selected the events. Okay. Actually, the retroactive research strategy, the event is data for us. The event is data. So I selected the event according to the historical period I studied. So what is the event did in the 19th century or 20th century or 21st century? This is event, whatever this event is, like protest or like statements or like social media or like speech, something like this event. I use this event as data for me and analyze this to understand what is the social structure. Yeah.
Do you need to code relational code?
This is our problem here. As Victor said, this is about coding and actual grounded theory. Maybe I will just rethinking about that. Yeah.
This is interesting because you're asking the right questions, right? Just like the other day, Joanne was asking you the question about deductive, because this is all has to do about methodology, and there's so many different methodologies, so many different ways of doing, right? So which is good because you have all this curiosity about methodology. And
for example, Victor, I just want to do this example. Second half of 20th century, in Iraq, become community part is common. Most of the people belong to the community parts. Communism.
Communism?
Yeah, communism.
It's communism. Communist.
Communist, yes, communist.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Ba'ath Party.
No Ba'ath, before Ba'ath.
Before Ba'ath.
Yeah, before Ba'ath Party. All especially the Shia people.
Is it communism as in the red flag? The red flag? Okay.
Not the Russia.
The Russia,
yeah,
okay.
Not the Russia. This is become very common in my. Why? In that time, feudalism is very strong. The Sheikh Kabila,
Yes.
control. He is in the parliament, the Sheikh, and also he has a lot of lands and control on the land. And all the farmers belong to him.
Yes.
Work under him.
Feudalism.
So what is the solution? What is the savior here? Communism, the savior.
Communism, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because they defend about workers.
Yes.
So all the people belong. They don't pray. They don't fasting. They don't do anything. They against. This is a Shia institution. Against Shia institution. So the Shia institution have problem with communism because this is like atheism. They're thinking about that. Atheism against religion.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Atheism,
Yeah.
Against God, yeah.
Yes. What you said, this is maybe one event or one statement is become the whole historical phenomena. So one of people is ordinary people.
Yeah.
He sent a question to Ayatollah at that time. He said Muhsin Hakim in that time in Najaf. And he answered, this is a question by statement. Just as ordinary people. He said, communism is very dangerous party, and they are atheism or like atheism.
Yeah.
Against God, against Quran, against like this.
Yeah.
It's like this is we call this is takfir, kufr.
Kafir,
Yeah, kafir.
Yeah.
This is kaf. And he sent this is a man. What they did, the party against communism, they search about this man, they take the statement, they do copy one and publish a newspaper. They give justification for others to kill anyone belong to the
communism.
Yeah, because he's kafir.
It's kafir, yes.
And they did in that time. Saddam Hussein also used this. Also, Khomeini used this statement against the Iranian communism. And we have many people killed because of this statement without without, how can I say that, without
With
be attention about the result.
yes.
Yeah. So this is this is data for how the people need permission from Ayatollah to belong to the petrolism, to belong to the party. This is the petrolism, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, next time it's going on there. So let's go back to the discussion. So let's look at, anyways, just now, where is it? Yeah. Social media, there. So one qualitative consists of audiovisual. Okay, social media. Okay, right. So now, modality, now you're talking about, see, the statement you have is, I don't refer to your soft copy. Consequently, the methods employed for data collection in the qualitative approach of this thesis are as follows. So you talk historical sources, document analysis, and you have social media. So social media is not a method, yeah. So you can say social media analysis, maybe something like that. No, so it's not a method. So social media is actually part of a method, but it's a source, not
Source of data.
source of data, not a method by itself.
Is it data collection or not? It is data collection or not?
So, here we are describing method. So you can say social media analysis. I can say that social media content analysis.
Okay.
Right, content analysis.
Okay.
Just add more content analysis, then solve the problem then.
Yes.
Okay. So we say content analysis, social media content analysis, then audio and digital materials can be included. Right? Visual, audio, visual, no, right? That can be included. Okay, it's just not a big problem. It's just a labeling issue here.
Okay.
Right? Okay, where are we now? Very wide range. How are you using it? So here again, you want to justify the, how are you using this sampling? So you're using purposive sampling or what? How you're capturing the relevant social media? So you can say you use keyword search for certain concepts or something like that. Yeah, because you're not analyzing the whole. Your method is not taking community-based social media. You're taking certain keyword search or something like that. So you tell us what the method is like.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that is chapter 3. Let's go to chapter 4. There's somebody there.
Okay.
So there. Suzuki, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, kunci kan, okay. Right. Long one there. Okay, chapter 4. Intro, what do I have here? Alright. Okay, this is applicable to all of you, yeah? You want to pay attention for this one. So intro for each chapter, introduction for each chapter, right? So instead of using preface, you replace it with the word intro, you haven't done it. For intro, you have the starting context or the background of the chapter, that's an intro. Explain the aim of the chapter, right? So you have chapter 4, what is the background of the chapter, right? What's the aim of the chapter, right? What do you want to do with the chapter basically? And the flow of the chapter or the structure of the chapter, and how the aim of this chapter is to be achieved. How this chapter fits into your research, especially research objective or research question. So the aim of this to develop the explanatory model of taklid. So it is like that. So the intro of this chapter is you talk about just a little background, 1 or 2 lines, and then what's the aim of this chapter, what's the flow of this chapter, flow meaning the structure. So this chapter will consist of 1, 2, 3, that's the flow, right? And then how would this chapter, how the aim of this chapter will be achieved, and then how is it connected to your research question, right? So by doing that, you are actually tying your chapter together with the research questions or research objective. As you all know, research question is the compass of your research, the center of your research, right? All research is about answering research questions. So that's point number 2, very important. Number 3, this is about being be careful with sweeping statements. I think you have a sweeping statement here in page number 98. Okay. Okay, you say typically the population is not able to observe these mechanisms, leading to a methodological challenge of identifying them. So I think this is a bit presumptuous, meaning you sound a bit arrogant there. You don't want to sound arrogant, right? You're assigning negative label to the population, or you can reverse it by saying that these mechanisms are not easily detectable, or it's not easily seen, right? So you remove the population, you're not blaming, making the population look stupid, right? You don't want to say that. I'm okay, but the examiner, right? I'm thinking about the examiner. Here is where you have paternalism and patriarchy interchangeable. I do not know where somewhere in this chapter you make it interchangeable. So it's something that you need to address, put that in point number 4. This is another part, this is true for all of you. Single reference or dominant reference. So you have a chapter or part of the chapter, a segment of the chapter that has only one single or one dominant reference. That can be a problem. That can be a problem. So you want to have more than one reference. Maybe this is one. Yeah, you have when you talk about establishment of religious marja'iyah and kudu bequest, right? You have
Kudu bequest. Yeah, you know, this is Dr. As you said, the historical method maybe, or the historical sociology, maybe one references or event is enough, because this Kudu bequest is like a secret, something like a secret financial institution for Ayatollah. So for this reason, I didn't find enough research or enough papers about that. Just maybe 2 or 3. One is call and repatrics and call.
Okay.
Colon and repatrics is 2. This is the main researcher they wrote about this is. Especially in Arabic language, when I searched in Arabic, in Arabic, I didn't find anything about that.
Oh, okay.
People don't know about that. Yeah, but this is in this part, I depend, and this is 2 references, because it's like a data.
I see, okay, so...
Okay, I need to
just explain a bit. Explain that. There's also very limited data on this, or limited.
Especially there's a book about John Collin. He's a historical doctor researcher in Michigan, University of Michigan. He specialized about the Shia and like that. And he gave us, it's like we have like Al-Majlisi, Muhammad Bakr Al-Majlisi. This is the one figure of Shia. He prominent, and he appeared in the Safavid state, this period. So, and he give us, this is data for us, how they connected and with the people and marriage with the merchant finally. He take women and he give women to them, and he become a relationship between cleric and merchant.
Oh,
especially that merchant, they sell carpet and sujada carpet. In Iran and India, and then this is become more relationship, and then they went to the north of India to preach about Shia at that time and established one state. This state is independent from the whole India. Is called Oda state or Owal state, and this is have good relationship with the British government, British India government at that time. Company, British India company, and they are very rich state because they have good money, and then this is gave load to the British company to support them against the war in Nepal. Yeah. And then they want to benefit from this. They don't pay back this load. Just give us benefits every year. And then when the Oda and his wife died, they give will. They wrote will. The will said all our benefit go to the Marja'iyah, to the whole shrine of Marja'iyah.
Yeah.
And still, up to now, they have money came from British to the Marja'iyah, but the source of this money from Oda state in that time, Oda bequest. Yeah.
Yeah, you explained this to me some time ago already last time.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have the source is coming from one dominant person or maybe
I will check about that.
we will need to explain the situation. Then pattern design reference figures needs to be enlarged. If figures are not small, you want to make it bigger, right? I think this is true for the rest of you too. Figures needs to be explained in detail, completely, systematically, logically. So like I said just now, you want to explain the figures, including the arrows in the figures, right? Especially if you have arrows. Then when you have arrow, it means arrows indicate directionality. So why is this arrow pointing that way? You got to explain it that way. You got to explain. You want to be safe, stay safe. Do not use arrow. Use just lines. Reproductive. What is that? Explain the three spheres well. Explain the coding. Axial. Are you doing grounded theory? This is what my question is now. Yeah. Is there something in here? This is chapter what? Chapter 3, 4. 4, right here. Okay, chapter 4, right.
This research fit to use grounded theory.
It looks like grounded theory for the coding and the axial coding because grounded theory. So now Muhtadi is deciding whether he wants to include the idea of coding.
I will really think about it.
One way is not to use the word coding. Axial. You can still talk about it without using the word, right? So the thing is, if you decide to use grounded theory, Muhtadi, you want to explain that in the methodology that you're using grounded theory, right? And yes, grounded theory can be used for reproductive.
To feel this case. Because I know my theory maybe is a little bit complex because I use paternalism on this side, and on the side I use the Ayatollah system. Another Ayatollah interfere with political modernity. So I have three to link with them logically. To give justification.
Yes. It's a complex thesis, I tell you. It's not easy at all. If I find it complex, the examiner will find it complex too, but I've listened to it many times, so I've read through and all that.
Do we need to explain the relational coding and the core coding? They are all is the grounded theories process.
So Muhtadi is deciding he might not include grounded theory, right? In the,
Yeah, I was thinking about that, yes. We can use this is in, I read in some papers,
Yeah.
I can use this is coding, open coding and actual coding in rhetorical research strategy as well in ground theory. I can use this is method in both, in both strategy. But maybe this is open many questions for me to explain more that I maybe don't have enough experience about that. So I'm only thinking about that, maybe I will delete it. Yeah.
Do we also need to introduce the software like NVivo?
Atlas and all that.
Less.
Atlas. No, because Muhtadi is not doing that kind of research, because that kind of research is much more qualitative and primary data that's coming from people usually.
Yeah.
From words, interviews usually, right? That's suitable. But then this one is much more complex because Muhtadi did not do interviews.
Yeah.
不需要伦理审查是吗？伦理。
He talk about the ethical review.
Article review.
Ethical review.
Ethical.
Yeah.
Oh, ethical review. We don't need to.
We don't need to.
So we all
We all don't need to, or just Muhtadi.
We all don't need to.
We all don't need to. Like the elderly celebrities don't need to.
We do.
This one.
As far as all the candidates before this, right? They do not need to do this. If IPS come up with a new ruling, then something. But as far as I know, there is no ruling on that for person social science.
Thank God.
我以为就他呢。His research don't refer to the people, so I believe okay.
Yeah, because someone told us they will in USM they will take maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
Makes me really confused.
Yeah.
Afraid about.
always worried about.
I tell you what, just to be sure, right? You're right. It's a bit complicated. We do not want to track ourselves into then something when we ask becomes a yes. Yeah.
知道什么时候改吗？你问问他，他啥时候改呀？他不是说要刚新条例就会需要审查吗？啥时候改呀？啥时候出的新条例？是不是导师知道一些？
If at school, yes, at school.
I tell you what, you send an email, ask me first, right?
Yes.
Send me email,
Yes.
ask me first. I will process the email accordingly so that we'll get some answer. I will ask my director. If the director say okay, then we don't have to,
Okay.
right?
Thank you.
So far, we don't have to.
Yes.
All this while, we do not have to.
Yeah.
So, but I do not want to bring this matter up.
Yeah, don't bring it.
If you bring this matter up, they say yes, you need to. Then we have
No need to bring up.
You don't want to bring this matter up.
Yeah.
I do not know in China how the thinking is, right? But here, don't ask, there's no problem. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
In China, they also have this kind of things. Something you do not ask somebody and you can pass through it.
Yeah.
Because in some government institution, you have to sign by another one. I help him to sign the signature. But I ask him, do I need to find him signature? He said, yes, you must do it. But if I just
Do it, then
just to do it,
there's no need to sign.
I got that.
Same Eastern thinking here.
Yes.
Eastern culture.
Same culture.
Same culture.
Okay.
Some Eastern culture, you don't get those. But let me just handle it with my director. Director say okay with me, then it's fine. Like that we don't have to. Yeah. So far we do not have to. Yeah. I have more than 20 students. They don't have to.
Yeah.
So we
You
do not.
solve my anxiety. Professor, yeah.
I know. Remember, Mutadi, your friend was asking about ethics things too.
Yeah, ethical proof.
Ethical approach. Yeah. This is the science.
Yeah, about science.
Yeah.
Okay, so some school of humanities also they.
For school, they're very strict. School.
Yeah, very strict.
School of
Yeah, very
science,
strict
school
about the data. Yeah, science. Science school they need ethical proof.
Okay.
Some school of humanities like management, I think, they need management or.
So let's not. Yeah, let's not ask that question and then. See, the problem is it started with the sciences.
Yeah.
Because they experiment on people, right?
Yeah.
They experiment on animals, they experiment on
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
They put people in a lab, they test people, right?
Yes.
In the social science, we don't experiment with people, you know. We
that's
just
hard.
go and ask questions, right?
There's nothing to do.
There's
You're
nothing-
not having that.
You don't put electric on the test, you don't.
Yeah, effect side.
Yeah, there's not any effect.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, just maybe about psychology.
Psychology.
They advise in your.
They put the thing in out there, put the.
That's them.
So, yeah, this is the hard sciences that they do it, that's their problem. Yeah. We don't put electric on people. Okay. But the problem is when the science try to apply it to us, then it becomes a problem. Yeah. A lot of times it's the science trying to come to social science.
Yeah.
They use their method they apply their standards to us, and that's just the problem occurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all this problem in this world is from the hard sciences. Yeah. Okay, let's continue, Mutadi. We got to go faster this time, right? But we have talked quite deep, but I think we're getting a good.
No, I like this actually.
Yeah. Let's go into that. Chapter 5. You use the word pragmatic methodology. I put question mark there. I'm not sure what you mean.
Pragmatic methodology.
Yes, you have a phrase called pragmatic methodology. I don't know what pragmatic methodology is, right?
Okay.
But you are just describing.
No.
You do not know, just throw away the word
Yeah.
pragmatic. Okay, here is where about the balancing. You talk about Islamic political thought should be T there, thought versus political modernity philosophy. Modernity comes to Muslim or the third world through colonialism. So. Oh, what happened
哎，
there?
你动了。
Oh. What happened?
七号好。
Oh God.
哦，可以。可能不是。
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Wait, that connection or here?
Yeah.
No,
There.
not here. There. No, because it's just camera. Yeah. But it's just camera.
Okay.
Not stable.
No, that's right. I'm adjusting it here then. Okay?
I think here, it is cable.
Yeah. It's
No, it is cable.
Cable is not stable?
The BC.
Yeah.
Stable. Oh, here. Yeah. Sorry.
What's this? I gotta wait for.
You should get the definition in chapter 2.
Something.
Chapter 2.
Okay.
Chapter 2 you can write. Some people write chapter 3 is fine too. It is not a big problem. But usually it's in chapter 2 because chapter 2 is where you have the conceptual framework at the end. But some people do chapter 3, but that's not a big problem. And when the examiner say, well, it should be in chapter 3, just shift it, that's a problem. Maybe it's too long. Huh? Is this heavy? Actually, Webex is heavy. Webex compared to Zoom. In China, what do you use?
也是这个。
Webex or
Webex or Zoom?
Tencent
Zoom or
Tencent meeting.
Tencent meeting.
Tencent meeting?
Zoom or Tencent meeting, yeah.
Oh, Tencent meeting. Tencent. Okay, we should try Tencent meeting. Tencent.
The Webex, we need to use the VPN.
Oh, VPN, you got VPN.
Yes.
So Tencent, you don't have to. Tencent is China. So
This is China.
Webex maybe do not
Sometimes.
need a VPN, but just WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Because we have to send the link to the WhatsApp and we use VPN to log into WhatsApp
I
and
see,
use the
I see, I
Webex. But only Webex we don't need VPN.
Oh,
Yeah,
Webex only.
only log into VPN. Webex we don't need.
You don't need, yeah?
Yeah. But Zoom or Tencent meeting is more
Okay.
popular,
More
and
popular,
you don't need to VPN for that.
Okay.
But Zoom had the overseas type and Chinese type.
Chinese type, oh,
Yeah,
two types.
2 times of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Strange. Yeah.
Sometimes in
Complicated.
Webex, the traffic jam of the internet always happens.
Traffic, yeah. I see, I see. So,
卡了，
huh? Tyler,
卡
car,
that means the 卡的。
traffic,
There's a traffic jam.
traffic jam, yeah, okay. I say citer.
Oh yes.
Okay, chapter 5 now. Thank you, Hanif has done it. So here now, Mutadi, about this point, yeah, you can see I have noted down. How about the argument that when the West was in the Dark Ages, Islam was experiencing its Renaissance, which gave rise to the Enlightenment. So here is just the point I want to raise here is about making your statement much more balanced, right? So the claim that Islamic political thought is or modernity comes to Muslim through colonialism is not necessarily true unless you're defining Western modernity, right? But modernity is a concept, then you got to define a bit what modernity are you talking about. But you are right in the sense that modernity is associated with the West.
Yeah.
Yes, because modernity has a distinct roots or whatever, right? But just in case people do not understand, you just need to explain modernity, in what context or what sense of modernity are you explaining, right? But if you're talking about modernization theory, that has been contested, whether modernization theory is actually a development theory or is it a subjugation theory, right? So the idea of progress comes, modernity as a form of progress come to the Muslim world through colonialism, right? That I put a question mark a bit, right? So, and you actually talk about Fukuyama. Fukuyama works, I said, has been critiqued by scholars. Must also read his other works on trust and identity. And the recent one is about liberalism and this content. So, Fukuyama's work on the end of history. And I think that's where you're quoting from right now. So, Fukuyama does talk about the idea of Western liberalism and Western democracy being, the end of history, so to say, right? But there's also debate that modernity, Western modernity, is also associated to dependency theory. Yeah? So as we modernize, we become more dependent. So there's a debate about that. So in order to skip all this debate, you just be balanced about the argument about Islamic political thought or or modernity or modernity and progress is two different words, right? So it's not quite the same. But usually it's seen as the same. Modernity is seen as progress, right? But progress is not necessarily modernity. So, and as I noted, during the Dark Ages, Islam was experiencing its renaissance, and actually, because of the Islamic Renaissance, a lot of scholars in the Muslim world flourish and build new knowledge and actually pass the knowledge to the West after that.
Yeah, I agree with you on this point. But why I mention that, because I think this is a theory, or this is a thesis.
Yeah.
If I talk about how the Islam, the golden age, we say Islamic golden age, affected in the Europe, and Europe received this affected from Islam, and they gave a new philosophy, and they changed about science and about
The science,
political issues or like this. Yeah, that's very important. But I think this is give me another argument. I don't need to open another topic within this my thesis. But at the same time, despite political modernity received from Europe, and maybe all the people around, they use it in the bureaucracy, or use it in the structure of the government or something like that. But I think I was balanced between liberalism and materialism, because I don't say liberalism is the end of solution to the people, because I don't agree about that. According to the literature and according to my analysis and also literature, because the liberalism without materialism is dangerous a little bit. Materialism without liberalism also is dangerous. So can we balance between two? How the government use materialism to preserve about social value, to preserve about social structure, at the same time how the government can deal with the individual, with the citizens, without they feeling there is a pressure from the government on them. They can use their liberty despite there is liberalism. Yeah. I go with this. I did paper here. I just selected. This is paper from my thesis. It's like theoretical attribution. How can I do balance between both, especially about Islamic society? Because liberalism is dangerous about to Islamic society. We should use benevolism. But what kind of benevolism is benevolence?
Benevolent.
Benevolence. Yeah, benevolism. That's better. So yeah. Maybe I will chapter 5. I will rethinking.
Making balance. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm asking to you today. Let's go to the explain. This is the same point as now. Yeah.
Yes.
Same point. Okay. All right. Number. What is this? Differentiate between literature. This is the point that we talked about. Right. Number 6. All right. Here, I think there's a language issue about this one. Maybe the new one. This one doesn't have it. Maybe I don't know.
About minions. I want to.
Yeah, the language problem now. The first one, Minions movie is mean. The language there, followers there. And then you say, what nature of traditional societies. So evil leader, traditional society always want to have evil leader or something like that. It's purposeless without a leader. So I think that's a sweeping generalization.
No, okay, okay. I want to, especially if you go to my slides, honey. The first one I put his movie Minions. Can show us this?
Yeah.
Okay, go to the second one.
Oh, it's fast.
CPR.
Yeah, yeah. Who watched this movie before?
Yeah, I think I was also.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I did. So yeah, then
Okay,
of course
okay.
evil
This is-
leader, yeah.
Okay, this is move. Can I speak at this?
Yeah,
minutes?
good.
Yeah.
Okay. This is animations. It's like cells, our body, cells in our body. This is the symbols behind this movie. This is cells always push us to survive. When they push us to survive, we go to the conflict of survive, right? So what is the more motivation body? This is can survive, but eventually you will die. So if they don't die, they will search about another one to push him because well, yeah. When I saw this movie, I felt this can apply to society, especially traditional society. They always search about leaders. They cannot live without leaders, and especially Bedouin people. They always need leader, strong leader, and humble, strong and humble. He can die for his people. Especially he can die for his people and strong. He can steal from another tribe to lead them about fighting, and same time he humble for them. Yeah, this is the Bedouin culture. I found in my society, especially in our group, the people always search about leader. This is leader we call most knowledgeable Ayatollah, to follow him by taqlid. Yeah, if there's not most, if they don't feel he is not most knowledgeable, they search about another.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not just how can I say that? Not necessarily is this search is logic or method. Maybe traditional, but this is the kind of subject in their mind.
Good.
Yeah.
And I can, and I'm saying, and I'm getting what you're saying. When you said you're making a statement for, it's like all traditional society is not that. We can throw in the word some.
Oh, okay.
You know, some. So it's not all.
I mean, is it okay to mention this movie or something? It's okay or not okay? It's like spices.
Man, you can put it in, but the language needs to, because there's a language grammar issue with it there.
Yeah.
But improve the grammar. You can use it. But then you want to use the word some, because otherwise it becomes a generalization.
Okay.
Right? Some societies like that, not all.
Okay.
Some traditional society. That's all. It's just a moderate statement. Figures need to be rephrased. But by the way, all the figures that I see is you have your figures are, I think from even chapter 4, 5, I think this is the same, right? The label of your figure, like 2.2, showing the structure of paternalism. So figure should be, instead of showing the structure of paternalism relationship between Ayatollah and Shia community, it should be the structure. You don't have the word, don't need the word showing.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It should be a noun rather than, for all your figures, I think. All the figures have that kind of title. Anyways, where your figures? Yeah, is there? 5.3 to illustrate the second half. So illustration of the second half. But through we illustrate the second half of 20th century. Right? It's just like, what else? Reference are needed when quoting a comment of an author. I think I talked about this before. Right? Careful with claims. Example: unique ability to gather large number. This is an example, yeah. So you describing Muqtada al-Sadr, I think.
Yeah.
This unique ability to gather large number of authors. I think it might not be unique. I think there are people who can do that as well. It's not a unique ability, right? you can use its ability instead of unique. Unique meaning only one person can do it, right?
Okay. What is the synonym?
A synonym, it's rare ability, you can use the rare.
Rare.
Not many people have the ability.
Okay.
Rare ability.
Okay.
So it's not as strong, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Because I see the same ability, Hitler has the ability, Sukarno has the ability.
Okay. Maybe it's between translation.
Translation, yeah.
Can I put this is here, Hanif? Can this put this is word?
Which one?
Unique, you can use the word rare.
It's rare.
Rare ability. Yeah. So not many people have the ability, but
translation is a big problem actually.
yeah, not many. Yeah.
We for example we use is unique in Arabic, not mean just one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
This one, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's rare, I mean.
Rare ability. Yeah. Okay, we don't have to talk about language. This is number 7. That's alright. Language spelling, data like direct quotes are good, but need to be referenced. We talk about this. The L mean language. So figures need to be thoroughly explained. Discussion. I think we talked about this just now. Figures need to be referred. This one I talk about retroductive. Okay, point number 12. Retroductive or retroduction appears to be simplistic. The real seems to be dominated by individuals or paternalism. This is an example. Maybe. So okay. This is an example, but then it's an example of retroductive. You have it. So you have like 6.3. You have your real mutada asatab as your real, and it's only one. Usually, the real you will have a number of entities for real, and then
How about if I speak but about him, just about him? Because I need to how can I say that? To define figures or subjects to explain in details each one. And then
and put them together.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I cannot speak in the same. Yeah.
Okay.
All these figures same topic can't.
All right. All right. So retroduction or retroductive research strategy is usually not from the bottom up. It's from the top down. When we top down. Usually we are looking at the phenomena, the empirical, and trying to dig up the bottom, the real, right? We are not asking the opposite question. We are asking, why is this such a phenomena?
Yeah.
Why is this empirical? And we say, well, because of the certain events that lead to the empirical, and the events are generated by certain real entities. So usually that is what retroduction means in the methodology. Here is where you have one real entity, right? We don't have that. Maybe next time we should put in the soft copy inside here so that we can refer to the soft copy too. So not one. So you have Mutada Al-Sadir, right, at the bottom there. One way is not necessary to put, so the reproduction occurs when you have all this put together.
Okay.
So you don't have to use the word reproduction here.
Okay.
It's just a diagram to describe.
Okay.
Right? Okay, I think that will solve the problem. But then you have when you put them all together, that's where you have the reproduction.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Especially individuals. Usually, the real is seldom the individual. It can be, but seldom. Right? Because the real is usually some power source. So, but then I guess you can talk about individual as a power source too. But this is a source of power. Right? The real is like a source of power. Right?
For this reason,
The charisma is it the charisma?
charisma, yeah.
Charisma Muqtada Asada.
Yeah, well,
Charisma.
I said about him in the topic.
Paternalistic charisma.
New paternalism.
Neo-paternalistic charisma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paternalism, something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's usually a power source.
Yeah.
Power source. So think of so like a cultural value is a power source. Right. Economic power is power source. Right. Okay. Let's go to chapter 7. Muslim, has to do with the language praising again, Muqtada, chapter 7 and chapter 8. That Muslim political culture dominates society rather than the. This is the part I'm a bit confused. All right. Page 311. Yeah.
Okay. We need to.
Maybe I misread it or something. You say, in my opinion, within traditional societies.
322?
311.
311?
Yeah, we go back to 322 later. 311. In my opinion, within traditional societies that follow a democratic system, the state must practice a form of paternalism in preserving public policy that upholds the values of society, such as those represented in religion, culture, heritage, and custom. All right, okay, that's your opinion. This responsibility should be distributed among relevant institutions to ensure the preservation of public system, right? This is no problem. Therefore, clerics, tribal leaders, practice may play. Instead, the institution should operate independently while working. Right. All right. In the Shiite community in Iraq, the great Ayatollah holds significant authority and social influence. However, their vision is compatible with democratic system. So their vision is Ayatollah's vision is compatible to democratic system.
Yeah, good. This is a good question, and this is in the whole one thesis you'll find the argument, because despite there is 12 Shia, but there is schools, different schools, top schools.
Different school of thought.
Yeah, school thoughts. Yeah. For example, the Najaf school Najaf, and now his name Ayatollah Sistani, Ali Sistani, the biggest one. His thought is we call classical thought. What's mean classical thought? He don't interfere directly to political, because he waiting Imam Mahdi.
Yes.
Come in the future.
Yeah. This the big part of your research is.
Yes. And what they say, if there is a democratic system, it's okay. We accept the democratic system because it's not complex with Islam, but we should treat this democratic system in Islamic vision, or deal with this democratic system not conflict with Islamic law or something like that.
The fiqh and then.
Yeah. So here he used paternalistic rule with the democratic system. He don't cancel this. He accept this, but under paternalism. Yeah. This is Najaf. But if you go to Wilayat Faqih Iran, no, he say different, because Ayatollah should be the top. The top. Why? Because he represented Mahdi.
Yeah.
And we don't wait Mahdi come. We can use the Mahdi rule. And the Ayatollah is above the constitution, above the law, and some certain. So he can change the election result. He can change the government if that's necessary. The Ayatollah can. Why? Because he has divine law, and he has.
He represents
theology, the agent of theology. Yeah. So it is different. Different, completely different school. Despite both of them is Shia, 12 Shia, the same theology, have the same theology, but the thought is different. Yeah.
Okay. So when you say here that the
actually, I published this paper about the Sistani. I said revival of paternalism in Iraq after. This is my paper.
Yeah,
ideology. I mentioned this.
Yes.
I mentioned this is
So here, so the point, because you actually talked about this before that. But
Yeah,
you talked about it
yes,
before
yes.
that, right? Because
Yeah.
the Najjar school is
Najjar
different
school,
from the what's it, modern, but it's not modern, the later school. This is the classic.
This is classic school, Najjar classic school.
It's classic school.
ولاية فقيه آية الله ولاية فقيه is modern school.
It's the modern, later school. Right?
Later, yeah, later, yes.
Okay, so that's another confusion I have. When you use the word modern, we're talking about modern as in Western modern or the later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, later, there's the classic and the later, right? Maybe there's another part that you might want to rephrase whenever it is,
I will.
because I get confused. But then when I reread, this is what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the point here, right, Mutadi, is that here is where their vision. So here, when you are referring to their vision, here their vision is compatible with democratic system. You are referring to the great Ayatollah who is from the Najjar school, right? Maybe just clarify that part a bit, just to be clear.
Okay.
Okay, now I remember. Ayatollah prioritas preserving money. So there seems to be debate or rethinking about the laws, right? So there's a debate among the different schools too.
Yeah.
Right?
And the divine law and positive law, I refer to that.
Yeah.
But also I will mention this here also.
Okay. There. All right. So that is actually in the evolution of paternalism, right? In Iraq, Shiite community, there's the contestation at work as well.
Yeah.
Right? There's contestation at work too.
Yeah.
So that is something that you want to reflect, and here is where you talk about it. But so, I forgot you have a figure at the end.
At the end?
I'm
not sure because.
Might not. Here, you have this one there.
Okay.
This is now here, this figure, the figure 8.1, where you talk about the dialectics, right? Can you enlarge it and really explain it? So first of all, I cannot see it, right?
Okay.
This is actually the essence of your
Methodology.
findings.
Findings, yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is your essence of your findings, which is 353, page 353. So, expand it, make it bigger, right? I did not know that. Make it bigger, but make this as the key finding, the key finding, the essence of your research, which is the empirical can also be the actual later on.
Actual, yeah.
Right?
Because
This is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
So this is, you want to explain this further. So this is like a theory of paternalism.
Yes.
Right. So it's this is one of your discovery, one of your original contribution. So highlight this, explain this, enlarge this, right? Explain this, enlarge this. This is, so you actually contribute to the theory of paternalism in the context of
also, how can I say, contribute
the
with
dialectical theory of
dialectical
paternalism.
theory, paternalism, and also if I can mix retrospective with historical.
Sociology.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can use this.
Yes, you can use this because the empirical become real eventually affect a new.
Yeah, for example, if you go to Quran, for example, if someone study Quran about retrospective, Quran we talk is we study the Quran. This is verses in the Quran. What is the occasion? What is the social occasion or individual occasion or any occasion or any event? God sent this verse about this event. What is the reason behind it?
Yes.
This is event, right? This is event. But later, these verses become mechanism.
Yeah.
Because the people now work in this versus until now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
become mechanism.
Yeah.
So, but at that time it's event.
Event.
Yeah.
Yes. Usually there's an event and then there's a revelation
Yeah.
to Prophet Muhammad to what to do with it.
Yeah.
Yes. True. Yeah. So that will conclude your research very well. This is the key contribution. Yeah. So the dialectical theory of paternalism. So that will be your contribution. So there you go. What that is, that's my. But the thickness is there, so I'm not concerned about the power of the research. I'm suggesting to you to make it acceptable. That's it, to make it acceptable ideologically, which is hard. So you make it acceptable ideologically by moderating your statements, by clarifying the parts that need to be clarified, because it's a complex work they are doing, right? So it's not easy for people to read. You got to make it accessible. And then it becomes a powerful thesis that people can feel. People here is examiners basically, right? So that is what you want to to improve on. So those are the pointers there, right? So I think congratulations, you have reached this stage. It's about improving now. It's about improving.
Thank you, Dr. Actually, for your comments. My thesis may be big and you are sick, tired, and maybe they take your time, I take your time.
No, this is my work, it's my responsibility.
It's worthy, your comments, I like it, because I am here just to learn. As I told you before. Because still I am in the beginning.
This is more than the beginning. You're at the end of the beginning now, so you're almost there. So
thank
you have your materials there. And as I told before, I have not supervised on historical sociology, so it's not. It's quite a challenge. And then in a way, I want you to help yourself by reducing the risk.
You should fight with me.
This is where I'm fighting now. We win Sun Tzu, right? Win the war and then you start the battle. Right. We do not start the battle when we are not sure I win or not. If you're not sure you win or not, you follow Bruce Lee, run away. Bruce Lee said, right? Lee Hsien Loong said that. If you see somebody fight, you just run away. You run away. Only when you know you win, then you go into the battle. So you win the war and then you start the battle. So,
about Turnitin, Doctor. About Turnitin.
Turnitin.
I verified my thesis before I was sent to Turnitin. I just appeared to me 17%.
17 is correct. You need less than
25. But I received a report from the IBS is 26. Okay, 26, but I don't know if they exclude the references, tables, contents, and also my paper, because I have paper already. So they give me this is a report, and they told me 7% is paper, student paper. What does that mean? This is my paper, me?
Could be. Somebody presented your paper. It's coming from somebody. They trace it to some.
No,
paper.
I published paper from this is from
yes.
already. But this is in the report told me 7% student paper.
Oh, 7%.
7%.
7%. Oh, okay. Student paper. I'm not sure whether the standards are the standard. I'm not sure the standards 2025 would be accepted when 7%. You are the one that 7% published in the paper. So meaning that 7%, you all know about Turnitin, right? Turnitin.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So all of you need to do that. So that 7% is coming. Can they wrote email to you, right?
Yes.
Right.
Just report.
Just the report. Maybe you can communicate to them to say that it's you wrote a paper, you published a paper.
It's your own paper.
It's your own paper, and
Yeah, because they told me they should exclude the references, the tables, the contests, the paper published, your paper published already. They exclude.
They exclude.
But they have to do Turnitin. I am not sure because I did Turnitin. My own. Appeared to me just 17.
They did it 26. They got 26. Not too many. 26 still adjustable there. Turnitin is not. By the way, I have one student who spent about 1 day. I remember Taufan, 1 day to work on this Turnitin together with the staff over here to reduce it. So it's not an easy task necessarily.
Yeah.
So maybe they say they excluded your paper, then they still get 26. They excluded the paper.
I think not excluded. Include everything.
Maybe communicate with them first.
Communicate with them.
With them about that you have published the paper, and then you can actually show the paper to them, send the paper to them. You know?
Okay. I will show you here.
Who's this chain and all that?
Also, they told me if there is 1%, they should delete it. They don't delete it also.
Oh, okay. So they did not do what they need to do then.
They just do paper without any statement.
Okay. Oh, they're downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, just communicate to them then.
I communicate or Cyprus communicate.
You can do something with that. You go ahead and communicate first. I think our Panchima is hospitalized,
Oh.
so she could also help. But you go ahead and communicate first and CC to me. CC to me.
Communicate with Hiroshima. Okay, I sent.
And then CC to Hiroshima and to me too. The Washington.
Okay.
他这个是答辩完了吗？这个
没有啊，他这个是开题了。
开题了就没有。
Congratulations.
Thank you. You tired?
他过了中期了吗？
Are you
他
good?
就是
I read a lot,
开
but
题，然后
I
咱们
still
咱们
need
不是有
to
中期吗？我
talk.
看到，
But still
这
need to
赵雷
talk
不
with
是那个答
talk
辩
with
就
professor
中期吗？
to find
天哪，下雨了！
Oh. Yeah, it's raining.
to find a right way because
Yeah.
professor
Which semester you have?
sorry
Which semester you have this? Which semester?
semester
中期是那个
It's four.
class report
sorry
We did the proposal
对
defense.
啊，我
We did the
就
proposal
以为他们
defense.
一共是三个人。
proposal defense yeah
Not yet.
I plan to hi
We are just finishing our supervision. I haven't been grab a chair just to
Come have that.
grab a chair.
With the new. With the new.
New setup, yeah. Bagus, come. We have a chair. We have a
yeah we still have chance
we have one chair left.
Yeah.
That's your charger.
Oh, tapi
Look at this, man. We just finished supervision.
okay.
So started at 2:45 just now. Yeah, we just finished it. 2.5 hours.
yeah maybe
Yeah.
In Arabic we say Allah بالخير.
Huh?
If a guest come and sit, we say Allah B'khair.
Allah be fair. What does it mean?
I don't know, but Allah B'khair is God provide good.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, we just going to complete that. This is a long session. For the rest of Pizarro is in Eugene. Came in. Hi, Chang. Chang, Muzakir is here. Muzakir with Pak Agus, his colleague from Surabaya. Okay. Anyway, for the rest of you, we will have more group supervision next week because I said I told you all, Sempre is be closed
This week.
this week, and then resend all your WhatsApp so that I can respond to you. I think Jane sent me WhatsApp, you sent me WhatsApp. Jonathan, you have the form.
In the form.
Want to show me you brought the form with me?
Not print that. It's just the electric.
Okay. Yeah, you need to sign the form then. You need to sign.
I need to sign that.
You sign the form. I told you what it is, right?
Yeah, and I have to. I still have to clarify some research questions.
Sure. They sent to me. We will have a session. Okay. Who's that? That's Eugene there. Jonathan. Jonathan, look at that. Eugene.
Eugene.
Hello.
He did not tell. Maybe he did.
He
But
didn't tell you.
I'm not sure he did. He did because I was like half awake, right?
Eugene, you didn't tell the professor what thing you have to go back to China.
What?
You didn't tell. Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe you told me I was like half awake.
It's a secret. It's a secret to.
Oh, okay.
Marriage ceremony.
Marriage ceremony.
Yeah, marriage ceremony.
Oh, yeah. You told me about the pre-wedding pictures you have to take.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. It is good to be occurring tomorrow.
All right. Good. Wonderful. Do we have questions? So Hanchen, say Hanchen there. Hanchen, you're driving?
Reply
Okay, right. Whatever it is, we watch where you're going because you're walking while talking and holding the handphone. So watch where you're going. There might be cars in front of you. Right. Okay. Right. Anyway,
but I'll go back to maybe at the
all right. A number of you be coming to. Jane will be coming, right? Jane.
Yeah, Jane coming to.
Jane is coming on the 28th, I think. She said she's coming. Right. So the idea was coming to.
Okay.
All right. I got to what is it? I call it a day. We have guests coming. You know Muzakir came with his colleague from Surabaya. Dr. Agus is here too. So he's a person who is in charge of a journal in Universitas Negeri Surabaya.
Yeah, right.
Journal of Media and
Society and Media.
Society Media. I will complete the opposite way. Yeah, Society. So you want to publish? There's another.
Okay.
You have it. Okay. So you can publish it. Okay, guys, we will meet you. Chang, be prepared. You and I think Tandis and Muhammad and Salma will be among the few that we will prioritize because you are graduating soon, right? This year? Not this month. This semester. Right. Okay, we'll do that. And then hopefully next week we will get more active. We can have more meal meet more often. Yeah.
I needed to resend you
We just resend what you said to me.
Oh.
And all of you said resend to me so that
Yes.
your WhatsApp goes up to the top.
Yeah, sure.
Because I have too many WhatsApp down there. And I have deactivated the active thing because I wasn't active. So
Yes.
so I've been you know I got COVID recently.
就从
Oh, you know,
是
Gavin?
吧？
So I was like,
Last time in the group that our friend people that you are infected.
yeah. I'm still like having this long COVID because I'm struggling to stay awake this morning. I had meetings this morning. I was struggling a bit. I don't know whether it's COVID or have some other issues, which also might be the case. Thyroidism. Okay, we'll meet again. All right. There's Hansen, right? Hansen. Is it Hansen?
Jane.
Jane. Okay. Right. Okay. Jane, see you in what? 20. You're coming on 28, right? Okay. See you
Next week. Next week.
28. No,
Next week.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Okay.
7.
Have a safe flight. Get ready to
Yeah.
stand in a long line at the immigration. It's a long line at immigration. Bring a book and read. Or something like that.